That's why we have an added mic, just to kind of
Yeah,
boost the
very good.
voice.
Well, I saw you kicked it pretty good at the convention with
Oh, it was
75%
amazing.
or
Yeah,
something.
that was an amazing straw poll. So that was great. And also, I noticed that no matter if people had Trump stickers or Cruz stickers, they had Ford stickers on too.
Oh, good,
Really good.
good.
Okay, we're gonna be coming up soon.
We got about just a few minutes. Do you have a,
Oh, the phone, the clock must be off.
is the clock off?
No.
It's 8:02.
He always gets a few minutes after.
Si, senor?
Segment 2.
Mhm.
This is Dr. Worth. That's the Ben Casey music there, right?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Good.
Kelly, this is our board.
I know. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it's good.
He's like, I'm trying to get in here
Yeah.
and be done. Because I'm going on in a second.
What's your son's name?
Whose son? Oh, he's not my son.
Oh.
He's Steven. He's my comms director, my communications director.
Your communications
Yes.
director?
Do I look like I'm old enough to have a son like as old as him? Come on. There you go.
Okay, and
I've whipped you now.
what's his name?
Steven.
Steve.
Oh,
Since
George.
he's by a
you're in trouble.
microphone, I could probably just say, have him say hi. And what's your name again?
Mike.
Mike.
I'm
Same as that guy.
That's
I'm
He's
the
the
husband,
husband.
not the dad.
He's the husband, not the dad or the son. Oh, yeah, you can call him my son. You're in big, big, big trouble.
Wasn't he in the service or something?
Yep, he still is.
You're with
I'm in the Air
Now
Guard,
he's in the guard.
Air
Yeah,
Guard?
Air Guard.
a National Guard.
Air
okay, so-
National Guard.
Okay. Yeah, my son's in the Army.
Awesome.
We're gonna see him Monday,
Yeah, where's he stationed?
Fort Bliss,
Okay.
Texas, and
Nice.
he just finished the tour out in California because they're gonna send him to Kuwait.
Oh, he did his
Yeah.
pre-deployment
Yeah,
training.
yeah, he had fighting.
He had 29 bombs, or where
He had
was
20 where they
Yeah.
attack him every day, and so
Yeah.
I guess he came out of it unscathed. The last time he said they were pretty close to wiping everybody out, but this time they were gonna send him to Djibouti, Africa, the last time, and then they changed the thing. So.
We got a friend that's in Djibouti right now.
Where can you watch it? What's the the Facebook page?
Yeah, he had to learn French for that.
Chips and salsa.
Yeah, we got a friend that is in the FBI, and he's stationed in Africa. He's doing a 2-year tour in Africa.
Oh, okay.
And
Chips
They
and
offered
salsa.
my son a job at the White House because he took one of those security classes, and he scored. He was in the top, one of the top 3, and he wasn't looking at his email. So when he looked at his email and he went back to the base, it was too late. But of the 3 guys, he was one of the ones offered a job at the White House.
Wow.
I go, you dummy. So no, but he's looking at his email now really closely and all this stuff. So because he took the leadership class, the NCO class, so he's kind of moving up, and
That's awesome.
he wants to make it a career. So.
That page isn't on there on Facebook. Is there a
Chips.
Facebook page?
Chips and
Well-
salsa.
Yeah, Chips, the letter N, salsa show.
Oh, lower end. Okay.
Okay.
And you're already recording the.
Yeah, it's on already.
Okay, we're on YouTube now, so.
All right.
Yeah, live.
I'm gonna
Live.
start.
And we're probably live there because the lights on.
Here we go.
1951-56.
Bienvenidos to the Chips and Salsa Show. Here, your Friday night edition. We're here every Friday at 8 p.m. I'm Alice Lara, and my co-host Jorge.
Don Jorge.
And Jorge, the Alacran, George Ortiz. You have so many names. What are you tonight?
With the Cardinals tonight.
The Cardinals tonight?
Woohoo.
Okay. Surviving Cinco de Mayo, right?
Oh, I was at Rosita's yesterday.
Rosita's fine Mexican
Oh.
food.
Yeah.
We are here in the molcajete that we like to call. If you've never listened to our show before, what this is we do offer a Latino conservative perspective. We both happen to be very conservative Republicans, so don't let anybody tell you that there aren't any Hispanic Latino Republicans out there, because we are proof that we exist. In fact, one is missing tonight. Usually Martin Gonzalez is here. He had some family deals to take care of, and familia first, especially in our Latino culture. So he'll be back next week. Right?
Yes, she will.
But we have a really good show. If you can, go on your Facebook page and share this, because tonight we have in studio Dr. Kelly Ward, and she is running for U.S. Senate against the, well, we say against the incumbent, he's running too. Senator McCain. There's a couple of other guys running as well. We should mention their names. Claire Van Stewart.
Well, you don't have to.
Just to be nice.
Claire Van Stewart.
Say his name. Come on. I dare
Yeah, that's a good one.
Stewart, Claire.
And
then also
Alexander McCluskey.
Miluski.
Yeah.
See, George tried to say the names, but he couldn't.
Yeah.
She'll be
But-
coming in.
But Dr. Kelly Ward is the one to vote for. She is.
She did
She's
good
our front runner. So there.
at the convention, and George and I went to the state convention for Arizona last Saturday.
Was I there?
I hope you were. I saw you there. You're doing security.
Oh, that's right.
Remember
Yeah.
that? Yeah, you really did have a
I was
good
undercover. Security.
She blew away the straw poll they had. She ended up with 75%. Really amazing. So please stick around, because we'll be bringing her in the second segment. And then on the latter part of the show, we're having back our guy, our secret agent.
Secret agent.
Secret agent. Remember you tried to call him a bad butt, and you got in trouble because you used
I
that
know.
word. That's
They were
Jeffrey.
gonna kind of what is it? What do they do when they
Censored.
censor
You're
you?
gonna be censored.
Censor.
They
warned me.
wasn't John McCain censored? I'm in trouble tonight. Anyway, Jeff Prather will be with us in Chips and
I
Salsa.
had all of those gift certificates yesterday, but I didn't use them.
And the Chips and Salsa is free. They have a Tempe location and a Mesa location.
Oh yeah.
The Tempe is University in Hardy. In Mesa, it's Dobson and Guadalupe.
I went there yesterday and gave them one of our signed lithos with our picture on it, and they put it right there in their entrance. So our picture is on both of their restaurants with our beautiful faces. Well, my beautiful face.
Your beautiful face.
Your beautiful face too.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. Well, good. Yeah, go, but call in, because we're going to give those away. You can take your date. You can take a whole family for $50 there.
And the food was delicious yesterday. They have a special going on. I have to look into my phone, but it was at the next segment, I'll mention the special that I had. It was
You
delicious.
can
Some
talk
red
about
meat. Oh man, and
Everything's good.
rice and bean. Oh man, I had a nice lunch there while I was there. I didn't have no margaritas because I don't drink and drive.
You can drive.
And I didn't have a designated driver,
So
so
take a designated driver when you go. I want to give special kudos also to Sonia.
secret.
Sonia is behind the scenes here. She runs so many mechanical things. She takes care of our YouTube, she takes care of our Facebook and all that. And also, Dion Marketing is at the helm too for Facebook. You can talk to her there if you'd like. We got lots to talk about. We've got a few minutes before we get into our next segment with Dr. Kelly Ward. But you know, I've been hearing on the radio and TV all day, a lot of our R's in leadership are hesitant to jump on the Trump train.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I don't expect them to come and just, kiss a ring or anything like that. I
No,
don't know
but
about
they
you, George, but
they
I was a
should
cruiser.
right, and they should
I do
unite.
not want Hillary to win.
We have to unite behind our presumptive leader. And right now, he is our leader. The other ones have dropped out. They've suspended their
Campaigns.
campaigns. But right now, the RNC has backed Donald Trump. Good or bad, they've backed him. The people have backed him, 10 million plus. And he's gotten the most votes since people running for president on the primaries.
Well, when you have Speaker Ryan is third in line to be president.
Exactly.
He is our highest elected official, Republican official in the United States. And he's hesitant. I just don't think that was necessary. I don't think that was good for our party. We have our issues. We have our dirty laundry out there, and it's one more thing for Democrats to go and say, oh, here they are again. So, why aren't they doing that, George? Call them for me, please.
I think I'm going to have to make some phone calls.
You're security.
I'm
right?
security.
You do security for Chips and Salsa.
Yep.
Also.
For the
Lindsey
card.
Graham is also, I can't really support him either, Just he's got Louis Gohmert. I saw Louis Gohmert was saying, well, Trump needs to apologize for all these things he said. And you know what?
That's the reason he's getting elected is because of the way he's said things, the way he's portrayed himself. If he changes, then that's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump, since the beginning, has always been in first place, mind you, has always spoke the way he feels. And people like that. That's not the way that they're supposed to speak, you know. They weren't supposed to speak about the wall. He spoke about the wall. They weren't supposed to speak about the troops. He spoke about the troops.
He
Everything.
brought the issues out.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. Well, you know, of course, I didn't like him calling my candidate, wouldn't call him Juan Cruz. I didn't like that. However, I'll say, Mr. Gomer, and I have great respect for Gomer. I think he's a great guy. But don't you think maybe a lot of Congress needs to apologize for promises they haven't delivered, for the job that they haven't done? You know, he's telling Trump, you better get down on your knees and beg for forgiveness. They've got a lot of forgiveness to ask of the American people.
They've allowed the budget to go to $17 trillion
Oh no, it's 19.
or 19 trillion. Ridiculous. They're spending our children's money, you know. And the thing is, they had the power of the purse. They didn't use it, and they could have used it. They got scared. Our politicians aren't doing what we elected them in Washington to do. They find every excuse not to do it, and Obama takes the credit. You know, they got to start speaking up. Our House of Representatives has got to start speaking up, and our senators have to start speaking up and getting the same way the Democrats do. When they are pissed off about something, they get in a group, they speak in front of the White House or in front of the Senate chambers, and they speak as a group, as one. That's what we need to do. That's hopefully, if once we get a president in there, and hopefully we keep the House and we take over the Senate, it'll be a big thing.
Well, our party needs to get it together, and you know, please stay tuned because in the next segment we're gonna talk to Dr. Kelly Ward, and we're hoping that she's got some really good ideas. There's a lot to talk about, what's happening on the horizon. Many questions. If you'd like to call in and ask her a question, please do. You can talk to Mike, our wonderful tech director back there. He has great music for us tonight, and you can call 602-277-KFNX. That's 602-277-5369. Get online. You can talk to Dr. Kelly Ward, candidate for U.S. Senate. You can ask us a question. You can also win a gift certificate to Rositas.
$50.
Yeah.
That's
Who wants
some
to get
good
one?
margaritas over there too. Huh?
Yeah. You got plenty. You got lots going on.
And good
for your
food.
Friday night here. Don't go away, whatever you do. I'm Alice Lara here, George Ortiz,
Okay.
the whole gang in the Molcajete. So stay tuned for more. We're here on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX, the Chips and Salsa Show. We started this a little early.
I got it on mute. Okay.
All
What was I
right.
gonna look for?
I mean, I'm just like, dude, Ryan, did you really have to do that? Did you really have to come out? Can you at least give it?
What he could have done, he could have done it
days,
more.
They knew that, he knew they were gonna ask him. I mean, he had to have known.
They're all-
Yeah, how do you spell morcajete?
Molcajete is Molcajete.
She's
Molcajete.
very good. When I make mistakes on spelling or she
Molcajete.
catches me, she just
I just needed to see it to be able to know
Yeah,
what.
once you see it,
molcajete.
Molcajete.
I'm kind of a speller fiend. I used to see it pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Okay, George, you're bringing it in. And then you want to do One Truth sponsor first? Talk about One Truth first?
Yeah, real quick, I'll just mention them.
Do you want him to get you some music?
No, we won't do the music today. Just,
Oh, we got a caller. Adam's calling. So so what you might want to do when you
is
come
there a
on
tissue order behind you?
is just say, we're going to do with Dr. Kelly Ward. Adam, hang on, we'll do it in a minute. No, I don't see
Oh,
him.
we'll grab a tissue. Don't start with that one.
Go get you a mocha rag.
How do you like this microphone?
I mean, it's alright. It doesn't always pick up a lot on there.
Look, Mississippi is calling.
All right. Wow.
Man, they ran out of tissue in there too.
Why? You didn't bring your supply of tissue for them either?
No, it's in that other thing that I carry. I don't think I have it in. Hold on.
George, when you come back and you can do stuff, you might say, yeah, William from Mississippi. Just hang on tight and we'll get to you.
What happened?
We have a caller, William from Mississippi. You can ask him to
William?
hang on tight.
From Mississippi.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
even
about
know how to
20
spell
seconds.
Mississippi.
Yeah, spell that one, yeah.
M-I-S-S-I-P-P-I-P-Y. We used to joke about that in school. Okay. What did he say?
Let the song play out a little bit. He'll tell you when to come on. Just watch him.
Welcome back to the Chips and Salsa Show. This is Jorge El Alacran, Scorpion King, and with me is my host, Alice Lara.
Getting my guac on tonight, Friday night.
And with us we have Kelly Ward, which I'm going to introduce in a second, and we have a caller. Just hold on a second, William from Mississippi. We'll get right to you. I want to mention that this segment is brought to you by One Truth, is one of our sponsors. Besides Rositas, is One Truth, and they're a progressive rock group from Virginia, and they're coming down to the West Coast. They're going to start doing concerts and head on out here. Go on iTunes, listen to some of their songs. One Truth with J.C. Gonzalez, and you will fall in love with them. Okay, I want to introduce our guest here. It's Kelly Ward. Dr. Kelly Ward. She's running for Senate for the seat that's open. Or it's going to be open. It's going to
Currently
be
held by
I don't want to say that. Okay, currently held
another person.
by another senator, and we're going to retire him. Dr. Kelly Ward leads a new generation of conservative fighters in the state Senate, winning on issues like border security, economic freedom, Second Amendment rights, oh, beautiful, and health care freedom. Oh, Lord, we need that. A mother, military wife, physician in Lake Havasu. I love Lake Havasu, too. It's a nice area. Kelly is a champion for the Constitution. She is ready to take on the entrenched Beltway establishment. I think that's what Donald Trump's doing, too. And fight for conservative values. I like that, and I introduce my friend, Dr. Kelly Ward.
Hi guys, hi George, hi Laura. I mean Alice. Why am I calling you Laura? I don't know.
Always do that.
Well, I was on with Laura Ingram this morning. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's
That's
just
cool.
rubbing off.
I love her.
It was very good, but it's great to be here with you, Alice, and with you, Jorge. I don't know how to say Scorpion King in Spanish. That was just way too much for me unless you write it down for me first. But it's great to be with you. You know, I think Arizona's ready for a new BFF, and I don't mean a best friend forever. I mean a bold, fresh, fearless voice representing us in Washington, D.C. We've got to see AZ in D.C. instead of D.C. in AZ. That's what we've got right now, and I'm tired of it. How about you?
Hey, you know, to me, these people are so entrenched there that they think they're entitled to do anything they want to do and be whatever they want to be.
It's our own fault too. We keep voting the same people back. You know, George and I were at the convention we were talking about, and you had, what was the straw poll, 75%?
Yeah.
You know, an example.
Four-way race, too.
You know, an example is of these people that are entrenched against Donald Trump, and they do not want to follow the presumptive leader right now. They're entrenched because they're pissed off that they picked him. We got the guy, William. You want to go ahead and take him first, and then we'll continue with...
All right, let's go to our caller, and that's going to be William from Mississippi. Wow. William, welcome to the Chips and Salsa Show. You are in the Molcajete. How you doing? Great. Thanks for calling all the way from Mississippi. Right on.
Thanks, William. Well, you're right, because you know what? You probably heard that this week John McCain said that if Donald Trump's at the top of the ticket, it's going to hurt his chances of being reelected. It's all about him. You know, for me, it's all about the country. And I really envision, you know, the people that are watching on Facebook, but I envision these career politicians with their fingernails, you know, just dug into the walls trying to maintain the establishment and the empire that they've created for themselves and for the other people that they think are worthy to be part of that empire. And it's time for us to make that empire kind of crash down and take this country back for we the people.
William, did you have a question for Dr. Ward?
Well, thanks, William. That's a great question. Well, number one, I've been in the trenches, taking care of patients, but also making health policy. But I'm a family physician, so I'm a generalist. I have to know at least a little bit about a whole big bunch of stuff. And I can't be afraid to ask for a specialist. And I kind of legislate the same way. I know that just because I got elected to the Arizona State Senate, I don't know everything. There are people that I have to bring in. I have to bring in experts to help me so that I make the best policy for the people that are around. Now, I also have to tell you, I think I have an inoculation against lobbyists. I've had an immunization because my entire adult career has been in medicine. And we have our own lobbyists in medicine. They are called drug reps, pharmaceutical representatives, and they are beautiful people who have great information but want to sell you something. And guess what? Lobbyists in the legislature and in Congress are the same. Beautiful people, good information, but they want to sell you something. And so I have learned how to deal with them and take the good but leave the bad. Whereas some people get into elected office and have never been treated, wined and dined, fawned over like some of the lobbyists do with some of the elected officials, and they become unduly influenced by those people. And I think that's not going to happen to me because I've got that immunization.
William, thank you.
Thanks. Keep in touch. Hey, keep in touch on Facebook and on Twitter, Kelly Ward for Arizona and Kelly Ward AZ. I'd love to keep this conversation going.
And William, just before you go, I just want to remind we think Dr. Kelly Ward, should she get elected, then she's Arizona, but everyone that goes to Congress, to the Senate, they represent all of the United States. So I'm so glad you called tonight. Thank you so much. Have a good night. We have another caller, George. Let's go ahead and go to that since we have limited time with Dr. Kelly Ward. Let's go to Eddie. Eddie's calling from Phoenix. Eddie, welcome to the Chips and Salsa Show.
Yes, Eddie, yes, I do. I think that one of the reasons that government has become so stagnant is that people have stayed for too long. They've overstayed their welcome. John McCain's been there for over 30 years, 3 decades. It is much too long. Our founders never envisioned this. I myself promise you I will not stay there more than 2 terms. That's 12 years. 12 years is more than enough time for any person to go to Washington, start an agenda, accomplish some things, and prepare the way for the next people and pass the torch to the next generation. We've got young people who are in their 20s and 30s right now who are learning, who are getting the skills, who are getting the abilities, who are gaining the knowledge that's necessary to take this country in the right direction. And remember, they also will have the stamina and the energy and the motivation to do it. I think that when people reach, 70, 80 years old, John McCain will be 80 by the time the primary rolls around, their stamina and their energy decreases. Now, some people are, very gung-ho, but they're not as gung-ho as somebody in their 20s or 30s or 40s. And we need that energy in Washington to put us back on the right track. So yes to term limits.
Me too, Eddie.
Well, I think some of that was establishment money. There's a huge donor class out there that has, their special interests that they would like to protect, and perhaps they were behind it. It's hard to say. We've got our own version of John Kasich right here in Arizona. We've got a couple of guys, Alex and Claire, who they're kind of like Kasich. They can't win, but they won't get out. I'd love to change Washington by changing the people we send there. It will be much easier if it's a two-way race.
Okay, Eddie. And Eddie, after that, we have down to 1 minute, so she's going to answer real quick for you, and thank you for calling.
I think it's unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary political hype by a group of people that would like to be a protected class but isn't.
Thank you for calling, Eddie, and stay on the line and hold, and maybe Mike can get your number so you can get a gift certificate, okay? Thanks again.
Thank you, Eddie.
Take care. All right, great. We're getting calls right out of the box.
I
Everybody
know.
wants to talk to Dr. Kelly Ward, who's candidate for U.S. Senate. In the next segment, we have Jeff Prather coming up, and he's going to talk to us about veterans issues and all things. We're going to keep Dr. Ward online with us so they can interact with each other as well, because these are all very important issues.
Yeah, I wanted to ask her about the border,
Yeah,
securing
we
the
can talk about
border.
the border thing as well. Very good. So don't go away, because we got lots coming up here on the Chips and Salsa Show. You are in the Molcajete. Stay in the Molcajete. Just hang on tight
And call in.
for that gift certificate.
Yep.
What's the number, George?
602-277-5369.
You're on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX, the Chips and Salsa Show.
Too fast.
Wow. Woohoo.
We need an hour program.
I was gonna ask if that, because my tracker's name is Eddie. That's from American Bridge, and he always is everywhere. But I knew that wasn't his Eddie's
it sound
voice.
like
But
him?
no. But he's a progressive guy. I mean, well, he's hired by a progressive organization. I don't know what his personal political views are, but he follows me around everywhere. He's followed me in a parade. He's in Kingman, a few parades. He probably has some of the best footage of me doing different things, because he just tracks me everywhere.
So he's just a tracker.
He's a tracker. I'm sure that they, that the Democrats and maybe
They're
John
smart.
McCain, I don't know, would like to use some of that and try to find something that they can use against me. But I'm the same right here as I am in front of people, when I'm giving talks. So
You just kept talking. I was in the right time. So
Yes.
it all worked out.
oh yeah.
I wanted to look at the story on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about the border
Yeah.
and balancing the budget. A
Oh,
couple
yeah.
of things you have listed here.
Yes.
So that way you
Stay
can.
with us.
Yeah. I'm going to be on the next one after Mr. Prather, or with Mr. Prather at the end.
That first guy, did you know him? Were you from Mississippi?
No, I put it up on Twitter and Facebook with the numbers. So.
Oh, he has fans all over the country.
I'm finding that out.
Well,
Crazy.
a lot of
Craziest
people,
crowd.
the unfans of McCain, I'm sure, are her fans.
They're large. There's humongous numbers of them.
I wish we were eating chips and salsa.
Sometimes we do have it. Sometimes, well, she actually makes it, and man, you can smell it from the room back there. It's so good.
Sonia spoils them.
Yeah, we do it like once a month. But isn't Prager, is he the one that, no, it's the other guy that comes here once in a while. He brings his
Lyle
own,
Packy.
yeah, he brings his
Do you
own
know Lyle?
chips and salsa, and then we have ours, and we like compete against each other. He always brings a big bag of chips, and then he brings his salsa, and he says, he's been here like twice on our show, two or three times, and he's always brought a big old bag and his own salsa, and then
That's so funny.
we've had our salsa. And Russell
These are
Pierce
dripping
loves the salsa
chips, the
too.
grease is coming
Sheriff
out of
Joe. We happened to have a salsa when they were here. Our
Yes.
first show, it was Sheriff Joe,
Yeah.
Russell Pierce, and Robert Graham.
Oh, very nice.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Everybody was eating.
Very
salsa.
nice.
That's
Very
pretty cool.
nice.
So how is fundraising's good?
Oh, it's going wonderfully. And yesterday we had close to 150 donations online. Just boom, 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 boom. And so it's nice when that happens. I wish it would happen every
About
day.
80 today
80 today. Boop, 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 boop.
That's good.
So,
from the same email.
yeah.
yesterday.
And,
Yeah, it's
the
Because
thing
we did
is,
send out an email fundraising plea, of course, and it was a great one apparently. So.
But you don't, like Kirsten Cinema, I think she sends one out every 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even a Democrat, but I'm on her. I got her on her list probably because Sam.
we should have a fundraiser there at Rosita's.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, just
Well, that's, I don't know if you guys know Chris Salcedo. He's
1 minute. Okay.
he's a radio host on the
Brenda?
Blaze. He's on the Blaze network in Texas, and he's the president or the executive director of the Hispanic Conservative Hispanic Society. And they endorsed me, he endorsed me, and I think it's awesome, so, you know.
Conservative
Yeah.
Hispanic
Yeah,
Society.
we
Yes,
should get
I don't know
together
that much
somehow.
about it, but I, you know,
That they have endorsed.
We should get together before the election and have some
Yes.
kind of fundraiser on
chips
the
and
east
salsa.
side.
Let's have a
Yeah.
let's have a competition.
And they'll love to have it at the restaurant,
God,
one of the
lovely.
restaurants.
Here's that wonderful music. You know what that means, George?
Secret agent.
Secret agent man here. You are listening to the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara here with
Jorge.
Ortiz de
Don,
Alacran.
Don Jorge.
Don Jorge de Alacran. Martin Gonzalez is not here tonight, but he'll be back next Friday. And we are keeping on Dr. Kelly Ward so she can also join in the Molcajete here as we talk to Jeff Prather, Fast and Furious whistleblower. Jeff, are you on the line with us, buddy? Great to have you back again. So, Secret Agent Man, we've got lots to talk about here this evening. Let's first talk about the Navy SEAL Keating, who was killed in action in Iraq. Go ahead. And Jeff, also, I mean, when I first heard the story about Keating being killed, what we heard was Keating, who is the grandson from the Keating 5 scandal, you know, that was how he was identified. I mean, was that really, that was so unnecessary to do it that way. Absolutely. So this is he's a Navy SEAL, and he's being denied. How could they even do that? And you know, we have Dr. Ward in the studio here with us too. I'm sure she can weigh in on this. And if you get there, you know that Jeff is going to come after you about these things.
Yes.
Have you back again. So, Secret Agent Man, Let's first talk about
Oops.
What's the answer to that, Jeff? Should they just like obliterate everything and start over? And there are some, I know there are some vets. My dad was very fortunate. He was a disabled vet. He had a foot injury, part of his foot was missing. But he got some good care out of Beaumont Center. He was a World War II vet, and he was one of the lucky ones who had the same doctor for a long time. So many of our guys and gals don't. What's your answer to that? Go after those veterans, those people who know how to handle arms and weapons and defend themselves and defend others. It's very convenient, isn't it?
Oh, there's so much there, Jeff. You are exactly right. I mean, when you look at what happened at the Phoenix VA on John McCain's watch, I mean, he's the most well-known veteran in our state, in our country, really in the world, and that happened on his watch. There are so many solutions that are out there. One, you know, somebody's got to be bold, fresh, and fearless. Fearless in particular because you have to take on the public sector employee unions at the VA if we want to see change. That's going to take somebody that's fearless. If we truly wanted to get serious about making sure that we decreased gun violence, we would secure our border. we would stop these guns coming across our border. We would stop these drugs coming across our border. We would stop the trafficking of humans across our border. But instead, politicians just aren't willing to do it. They don't have the political will. They don't have the political backbone. And so there's so much out there that has to be done. And the only way we're going to do it is by changing the people we send to Washington, D.C. Keeping the same people there and expecting a different result is insanity. It's just simply insanity.
Jeff, you are so right. We're down to like 45 seconds, and I don't want to leave before you've given out your information so people get a hold of you. Great. Thank you so much for being on. We'll have you back again. Come into Phoenix when you can. Take care. That was Jeff Prather, Fast and Furious whistleblower.
Thank you, Jeff.
And we'll be back with more with Dr. Kelly Ward and with the Chips and Salsa Show here with Alice Latta and George Ortiz on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Okay.
That's the Fast and Furious segment.
Yeah. He had a lot, so much to say.
He does,
Yeah.
he has so much, and he couldn't, it's hard to squeeze everything in.
The AP got hammered pretty hard on that headline on Keating. It was AP that put that headline out.
Well, our own local, I was listening to, I think it was KFYI, and it was local news. They were talking about it. And yeah, it's interesting,
It's
yes,
the
he's
AP
related.
story, they get the
Keating.
AP story, and then
But, you know, use some respectful judgment.
this
It's
was
our
a guy
guy.
that
Died.
independently, on his own, not because of his grandfather,
Yes. That was
became
terrible.
a Navy SEAL and was a brave warrior.
Yeah.
It's disheartening. You know, obviously we're not big fans of the Keatings. We thought maybe
Sure.
Kane should have gotten a little bit more attached to that than he got. But you know, this guy was a honorable military member, and they dishonored him. When
It
they
just
did
was
that.
so
they did.
unnecessary.
Yes.
And in 10, maybe even 10 years ago, you wouldn't do that. You just wouldn't do that to someone. Our guys,
But
our
just
guys
like
are
what
out
he
there.
was saying is that there's an agenda to belittle our veterans, to take away their rights, to take away their rights to bear arms, to say that the people in the military aren't good people. They are good people. They're there protecting our liberty and our freedom.
And you know, still what's the statistic? 22 guys a day commit suicide. You know, we are doing so many things wrong. It's so
So you want me to bring it in? You want to bring it in?
you want to bring it back, and
I'm just going to show. I'm going to bring this right back to you.
you got to remember to
Uh,
Janet. There's something
I
that
want
you
to
do on
I
your
want
phone.
to thank these people that are
This
talking.
has me talking, and this has me knocking
Oh,
on
good.
doors.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
is
I'm sure
that
there's-
gal with the Tucson aura?
Maybe
Huh?
I'm sure
Adriana
that this-
Chavez? Is she with the Tucson aura?
Then
Tucson?
Is that gal Adriana Chavez? Is she with the Tucson aura?
I don't think so.
Somebody was asking me, and I didn't know either. But
I
yeah,
just wanna
mention
thank
them
her
on air.
for-
Good idea.
For
These show
Commenting.
commenting, and then also Francis Gonzalez.
Oh, you know who Francis is,
The
right?
words are the
No.
same. but
Oh,
the-
you
the
weren't
pictures
there.
make a huge
Francis
difference.
Gonzalez is from New
If you
Mexico,
go
and we
and
had her on the Central City
I
one.
don't like.
So when you mention her, we can talk about her and promote that.
Well, why don't you do it?
You want me to do
Yeah. And then also mention that other girl,
Adriana
Shiraz. I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
Chavez?
chat it.
Maybe we could wrap it.
And then Francis Gonzalez, and you say a little thing about it. Thank them for their comments on Facebook. Keep those comments coming. Okay. And then I'll,
Here we go.
you wanna, so why don't you open up this segment then? Bring it in, and then, we're gonna ask her about the border and balancing the budget, so. You got that, babe?
And we are back with the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Sada here with the Alacran, George Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Jorge Ortiz.
My son is coming home
Oh, wonderful.
Monday.
And salute to Georgie Ortiz.
Yep,
I get to call him Georgie because I
yeah.
met him when he was a kid.
Yeah, he's coming.
Right, Dion?
He's coming for a week or two before he goes to Kuwait.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, but we're gonna have a great time with him here.
And hey, happy Mama's Day.
Yeah, happy
Dia de
Mother's
las
Day.
Madres out there this weekend. You got some mom?
Oh, yeah.
Mamas here. I'm
You're
not a
looking
mama,
forward to it.
just my doggies.
Yeah.
So happy Mother's Day to you.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
We want to acknowledge we have some people who are going to our Facebook site, which is Chips and Salsa Show. Here we're still trying to get about 1 million followers, so keep liking our Facebook page.
Hey, I liked
Chips
it.
and Salsa.
I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Appreciate that. But we have Adriana Chavez, and if I mispronounced your name, so sorry about that. Thanks for commenting. We appreciate that. And also our good friend Francis Gonzalez. Francis Gonzalez is actually from New Mexico. She was doing our Central City radio show. She came in, she was in town. Formerly from Arizona, used to work corrections, I believe. And she's very involved in the New Mexico Republican politics. Guess what? Another Latina doing that. So shout outs to both of you women.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. Thank you so much. We also want to promote that tomorrow for our Saturday edition on Central City Radio, we're going to talk to
Jenna Jackson.
Jenna Jackson.
Oh, I just met with her today, and she's pretty awesome. You know, she's got a lot to offer to
Yeah.
Maricopa County.
She's a little firecracker. She was in
Yeah.
front of our group yesterday at the EGC,
Yeah.
and boy, I was like,
Well, she needs help
perplexed.
getting signatures on her
Yeah.
petition. So if there's people out there listening, please sign her petitions. Get in touch with her because, you know, if you want to have some change in Maricopa County, I think that she's the way to go.
She's a very dynamic personality. In fact, she was last night at our Central Republican Women of Phoenix. She couldn't stay to speak because she had to collect signatures. She had another speaking event, but she is fantastic. So that's Janet Jackson. She's running for superintendent of Maricopa. So see what you can do out there. And so let's get back. We have our last segment. I can't believe it already, George. I want to finish off here.
Well, I want to do a shout out for Ted Hayes. That'll be here next week.
Oh, that's right.
He's going to be speaking on your LD, on the radio show on Friday, and on the Glendale Tea Party. And he's an activist from California. He's be out here next week. Over to
They'll
him.
be everywhere.
So let's
my
get back
goodness.
to
Okay, so
our guest here.
back to our guest, Dr. Kelly Ward here, and thank you. Her husband Mike is in the studio, and Steve's here too. He's just looks like he's really deep in thought.
He's a communications director.
We
Yes.
appreciate you guys hanging out with us in the Molcajete. You've got an open invitation. Come anytime
Thank
that you're
you.
able to. I know you're traveling the state. Hot
Yeah, we'd
candy.
like to have
Oh,
you
yeah.
one more time.
I'd love to. I'd love to. You know, it is very challenging because the state is big. You know, I thought that my district in LD5 when I was a state senator was large, and it is a very geographically large chunk of the state. It's really the whole northwest side
It's
of the
beautiful.
state. It is very beautiful. You're right about Lake Havasu. It is spectacularly beautiful. Great people. We love it. They're hot. We love it hot. So it's good. But we've been all over the state. We've been in every county. We'll be back. And it's been wonderful because the reception is amazing. Even in places where people tell me, "Oh, that's McCain country," you know, you're not going to get a good reception there. There are people there that tell me that they've always voted for John McCain, that they know him personally, that they know his family, that they have all the respect, and I do too. I have all the respect in the world for him, his service to our country, what he went through as a
Yes.
POW. But the message I hear again and again and again is that it's time for new blood in Washington, D.C., that we need those bold, fresh, fearless ideas to come into Washington so that we can go in a different direction. People are unhappy with Washington. You guys know, you talk to people every single day. They're unhappy, they're disappointed, they're disgusted, they feel betrayed by the people that we've elected to do a job for us. But the people who are in Washington seem to forget who they work for. And, you know, they need a reminder. They need a sharp reminder. You know, when Eric Cantor lost to David Brett, you know, in the last cycle, you'd think that that would be enough to send the shockwaves through Washington. But, they talked about it for, a month or two, and then it kind of just went by the wayside. But can you imagine the shockwave going through Washington if John McCain is retired in this next, in this primary, and then, we get our first female Republican senator, well, our first female senator of any kind, but it needs to be Republican in
We've
my
never
mind.
had a
But
female senator.
No, never.
You'd be going against Kirkpatrick.
Yes.
What do you think about her?
I think I could soundly thump her, because she's a progressive liberal Democrat. She is a big, huge government person. She has supported Barack Obama and the Democrat leaders nearly 100% of the time, and Arizona does not want that. Heck, CD1 barely wants her. She was there, she got defeated, she came back. She's really a career politician. She's 65 years old. She should come back and retire to Arizona as well. I think it's time for new blood in Washington.
The message here is change for the good.
Yes, change for the good.
There are a lot of people who will say, we've had McCain in there a long time, and as I do respect him for his service. He has a lot of power, he has a lot of influence, he's been there, so you're going to be, if you come on there, you're going to be brand new.
Yep.
What's your plan? If you've been back to Washington already, what do you tell people who still think that way? They're so afraid. Oh my
Right. Well,
gosh.
I heard Governor Brewer on Hannity tonight saying that, well, John McCain's been there a long time. He's got seniority. We need him there. Well, the seniority hasn't done any good for Arizona, and it hasn't done any good for the United States. So what do we think 6 more years of having him there is going to do for us? I'm looking for somebody who's going to go in there and take Obamacare by the horns, and actually by the roots, and pull it out and get rid of it completely. Somebody who's going to look at Common Core and say, hey, you know what? The federal government doesn't have a role in our education system in this great country. Common Core needs to go. Somebody that's going to say our military needs to be the strongest military in this world, so that we are, the world is a better place. It's a safer place when the United States is strong. And it will take money, but we have to have that peace through strength. If we aren't strong, there can't be peace, because people are willing to attack us. We have to have people who are willing to stand up for our veterans and honor the promises that we made to them and take care of them after their service ends. We've fallen down on the job. Our economy and balancing the budget. We have to have somebody who's willing to tighten the belt when necessary. John McCain has proven he's not willing to do that. He's been in Washington for 17.5 trillion of the nearly $20 trillion we're in debt. He's been there. He's done it. We need somebody who's going to propose bold, fresh, fearless new ideas. Things like the patient power plan. That's my plan to get rid of Obamacare and what we can do instead.
And you have a plan? Because
I
they
do.
keep saying Republicans,
Yes.
we really don't have a plan.
Yes, I have a plan. And, I have a tax plan that is a flat tax plan. A flat tax plan for individuals as well as for corporations. So businesses come into this country and create amazing jobs for our citizens to be able to become prosperous. And that's what I think is missing. We've seen American jobs go down the tubes. We've seen our military weakened. We've seen, more and more people getting on welfare rather than getting off of welfare. And all those things have to change. But the only way we're going to change it is by having that new blood.
Kelly, I want to ask you, it's okay if I call you Kelly?
Oh, yes, of course.
Dr. Ward, Kelly Kennedy.
Kelly's perfect.
As you've traveled the state of Arizona, and we have a high Latino population, what do you hear from other Latinos?
It's amazing. I have one lady in particular just comes to my mind quickly. She's in Kingman. She and her family are legal immigrants that came to the United States. She is now a small business owner who is employing people, and she gets mad about illegal immigration. She is mad that people are coming here and breaking the laws and taking advantage of something that took her a long time to achieve, she and her family. And I hear it across the board, whether people are coming from Mexico, from Central America, or from other countries, from Vietnam, from Russia. There are people who have come here and done it legally, and really they are offended by people who want to skip to the front of the line whenever they've done everything that they could to do things legally and become prosperous American citizens.
It is offensive, we're pretty strong proponents. We always tell people, it's not immigration. We're all about good immigration. We want people that want to be American citizens.
We love immigrants.
But we believe in the rule of law.
I do too.
Over 100 years ago, when my grandpa came here, I still have his naturalization card. It was for a reason, and we don't want to revert back to how it was 100 years ago.
Exactly.
I can't believe we're down to our last minute, so let me do a little housekeeping before we close out here. We still have time. I'm sure that Mr. Mike, our wonderful tech director, great job tonight. We got a minute, but you can still call in at 602-277-KFNX. It's 5369.
For the $50.
Yeah, hey, and hey, join me at kellyward.com, Kelly with an I, because I care about the people. Love to hear from you.
Fantastic. We really appreciate you coming in.
Okay,
It's been
good
a
luck,
great
Kelly,
hour.
and come back again and see us because we would love to have you back on the program.
Thanks, guys.
Anytime. So until next Friday, well, actually
Well,
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
Central City Radio, if you want to tune in at 4 o'clock is our show audition there
Yep.
for the Chips and Salsa show. So
Rock on.
walk on, get your
Walk
walk
on.
on. Alice Lotta here and George Ortiz. I'm going to talk 11 here on KFNX. We'll see you next Friday at 8 p.m. Thanks a lot.